have something that looks more like this over here. And when I started actually really giving value and acknowledging the things that I've actually been holding for years that I want to see happen in my life or through my life, that's when it started to become much more alive. So giving value to the things that seem so normal and everyday that they don't seem important enough or big enough, but actually those things going through the 2 years made them real. So it's like I knew them at the beginning, like I was able to write some words down, but I had to go through the 2 years to actually really know them here in my heart. And I just was reading the abstract in my theory paper. I'm like, oh my goodness, I can't believe I wrote that. Because I started with these things kind of similar at the beginning of the program, and now here I am at the end, and it was consistent all the way through, but I was not anchored to this throughout the whole program. This was not an anchor to me, and yet when I look where I came to at the end, it was all there the whole time. It's kind of shocking. So I'm like, oh my goodness, I can't believe I wrote it. That's exactly it.
Can I ask you to share a little more about that?
Coming into the program, there's something about being able to create with people in a collaborative way that is very exciting and around where my gladness is. And now that's where I've come to, that that's truly my vocation. But I didn't own that before. I just thought, oh, I love that. That's where I'm happy, but I got to figure out how I'm supposed to work in organizational development type ways. That is, like I have to become a different person. And the first week of Pilgrim Furs, what really hit me big was the 80-20 thing. Don Schwartz, the founder of OSR, came and spoke to us, and he said, you know, it's 80% of who you are and 20% about your skills and abilities that you bring. I was like, oh, I don't have to become a different person. I don't have to, I can truly, truly, truly just be myself. Like I could fit in to these places where I feel like I couldn't fit into, like what I bring, which seems different than the big successful people bring. You know, so it's truly the accepting of that 80% that kind of helped open up where my gladness was and to really step into it and enjoy it. And following that, for me, I call it my happy place, and following that place where I enjoy, like, where do you enjoy being in? Pay attention to that, and that will also help in the process.
I think also it's a part of trusting the process that unfolds over the 2-year period. It's different for different people, different problems for everyone. But for some of us, the clarity comes around a specific course that takes place. That's what happened with me, a specific course that we engaged in. For some of us, clarity comes during the summer when all the research and the theory papers being written. For some, that clarity still isn't there. It comes during the consulting projects in the fall. It may come this fall and winter during the individual projects. So over the 2 years, over the 20-something months that we've been going through the program, you know, the 31 of us, that clarity point has come at different points in time. And you know, as we get to the end of it, you know, I can reflect back and see that as we went through that, and the process itself worked at different points in time. And so my offer would be try and trust that process itself, and then that clarity should come.
I was going to add, there's also an idea of choose something for now. Choose what's calling to you, even if you're fighting against it, going, oh, that's not it, or that's just one of many, or whatever. There's a natural inclination to go towards something, and even if you think it's just random, there's probably a reason for that. So choose it for now, and go through the process and see where it lands. And just that process of going through that may teach you, oh, this is not at all what I want. Or it may say, well, there are elements, or this is it, who knows. But being willing to walk through that process and learn from the process is of value too, even if it's not perfect.
And I'd say it's a really good sign that you're highly irritated and you have lots of ideas.
Something will happen before I have a heart attack.
Something that Wendy said reminded me too, because you know, you go back and you look and actually we do a lot of work early on, and we're really getting in touch with what it is that we want and who we are. And then we start getting kind of bogged down in all these details and all these questions being asked of us. But during the second year, we did this work around what do we want, what do we need, and what do we have to offer. And I think it connects back up to that early work. And really asking those questions and working with each other. We did a lot of work in pairs and in triads, asking why. Well, why is that important? Well, why is that important? Why is that important? And that really got at the core of the stuff that was surfacing through the first couple of years that really helped kind of anchor that and set a more clear course.
And to build just on that and then taking my degree committee's advice and having them, because I picked some kind of tough characters, and Addie was there for that. So I picked people who I knew would challenge me, and they did the entire time. And they fought me on certain things. I wanted to solve world hunger, and it was all about theology and everything. And they were really instrumental in helping me continually pare it down. To when I got to the theory paper, I just launched. That's when it all clicked.
And also, you can be hopeful because you have more than 1 year, right? Mm-hmm. So you don't need to graduate this June. So when I was in last year, I had the same position. I had a terrible situation, even though that I had a physical problem because of the stress. I cannot find a clear area of focus, but I really understand and resonate with your feeling. You would like to go linear to find my area of focus is this, but it's for me, I found it at the end of almost after starting OSR project. Oh, this is mine. So that's my still. You have a time to exploring saturation in the saturation. So don't worry.
So do you want more information from us, or do you feel
it's reassuring.
Okay.
It's reassuring, and I get the trust the process and the discomfort and everything is I know that that's something at work. So that's good. If I'm saying this time next year, you can just shoot me.
Well, I'd like to say that, Addie's here, so, because as you were, no.
Not now, you're a yes.
Au contraire. No, you were very instrumental in helping me get clear. And so I would say really use the people around you. Use your mentoring group, your council, and your advisor, because I knew coming into it that I was interested in transformative processes, and that's a pretty broad subject. And in the design group that I was in, Bill gave us this book and a couple pages out of the Shadow book, and there's something there that was really stood forth for me. And so pay attention to what stands forth, because that led me to be more interested in depth psychology and Jung, and then that took me to art. And so with Addie, you kept saying to me, bring it back to who you are and what you know and what you're interested in. And even though I didn't know where that would lead me, it really became a very strong thread for me to do an intersection of transformative processes and transformative learning and aesthetic ways of knowing, which is all of that other sort of art for that. So just notice what has a sparkle for you that you might want to pursue.
So one last comment, I think, to that is just about trusting the answers within you and just trusting yourself. I don't know for you, because I was looking outward for those answers, and from your sharing, it seems that's what brings up for me throughout the whole program for me. And so look within yourself, look outside. It's a both and. It kind of comes back to what Wendy said, right? It's that 80%, 20, and trust yourself, trust the process, and use the resources. I use my mentoring council, you guys call it now, a lot. I use my advisor a lot. And I even reached outside of the system, like people out there who are willing to talk to you. Trust yourself.
One last comment. Also pay attention to what you're avoiding or not looking at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be the